Hey everybody, and welcome to another deep dive with us. Today we're going to be cracking open a book that you wanted to explore.
Oh, excellent.
It's called The Atlantis Blueprint, Unlocking the Ancient Mysteries of a Long-Lost Civilization.
Oh, wow.
This one's by Colin and Rand Flem-Ath, and it's published back in 2000.
Okay.
And it's just flipping through the pages here. I'm already seeing things like ancient maps, talk of the Earth's crust suddenly shifting, and even some kind of pattern that connects sacred sites across the globe.
Yeah.
It's already giving me chills just looking at this thing.
It's a good one.
Where do we even begin with all this?
Well, I think the book kicks off with a figure who's really key to understanding a lot of these ideas, and that's Professor Charles Hapgood.
Okay, Hapgood.
Yeah.
Refresh my memory. Who was he again?
He was a historian who put forward this theory called Earth Crust Displacement,
Okay.
which basically says that the Earth's crust can suddenly shift,
Oh,
moving entire continents in a very short amount of time.
whoa, hold on. Suddenly shift.
Yeah.
Like continents moving overnight.
Well, not necessarily overnight, but on a geological timescale, it would be pretty rapid.
Okay.
And the implications are huge, right? Because he even suggested that this might be the reason why Atlantis disappeared.
That's a pretty wild theory. I mean, was it well received by the scientific community?
It was met with skepticism,
I can imagine.
to put it mildly.
Yeah.
But here's a fun fact.
Okay.
Hapgood actually corresponded with Albert Einstein about his theory.
Like, really? The Albert Einstein?
Yep.
Wow.
And get this, Einstein found the theory impressive.
Oh, wow.
No, he didn't explicitly endorse it,
Right.
but still pretty intriguing that it caught his attention.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Okay, color me intrigued.
Yeah.
So besides this pretty dramatic crust-shifting idea, what else did Hapgood base his theories on?
Well, he was really fascinated by ancient maps,
Okay.
particularly the Piri Reis map from 1513 and the Orontius Phineus map from 1531.
Okay, I'm sensing a but coming here.
Well, these maps from the 16th century depict Antarctica.
Centuries before it was officially discovered. I know where this is going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hapgood pointed to these maps as evidence that Antarctica was once ice-free
Right.
and mapped by a civilization with advanced seafaring and cartography skills.
Right.
Which is a controversial claim for sure, but one that fuels the Atlantis Blueprint narrative.
Okay, so we've got a possibly shifting Earth
Right.
and weirdly accurate old maps.
Yeah.
What's next on this treasure hunt for Atlantis?
This is where Rand Flem-Ath, the book's co-author, jumps
Yeah.
in and kind of expands on Hapgood's work with something he calls the Giza Blueprint.
The Giza Blueprint. Okay, now you've really piqued my curiosity.
Right, yeah.
Spill the beans. What's this blueprint all about?
It all starts with the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Okay.
Now, you might think of Greenwich when you hear prime meridian, but
Hold up. Wasn't there a proposal to make the Great Pyramid the prime meridian?
you got it. An astronomer named Charles Piazzi Smith actually championed that idea back in 1884. He argued that the Great Pyramid was a better choice because of its central location on the Earth's landmasses.
Interesting. And obviously Greenwich won out in the end.
It did,
Yeah.
but Flem-Ath's Giza Blueprint plays with that what-if scenario.
Okay.
He discovered that many ancient sites around the world are positioned at specific distances from the Great Pyramid, distances that align with the mathematical concept of phi, the golden ratio.
Okay, slow down for a sec.
Sure.
Phi is in.
The golden ratio,
Okay.
approximately 1.618. You see it everywhere in nature. The spirals of seashells, the arrangement of flower petals, even the proportions of the human body.
Right.
It's often associated with beauty and harmony.
So is Flem-Ath saying that these ancient cultures not only knew about phi, but they used it to position their sacred sites in relation to the Great Pyramid?
That's the heart of his argument.
Wow.
He found sites like Tiahuanaco in Bolivia, Teotihuacan in Mexico, Easter Island. Even Canterbury Cathedral lines up.
Really?
They're all at specific phi distances from the Great Pyramid if you use it as the prime meridian.
Whoa. My mind is officially blown.
Yeah.
An ancient global civilization with a grasp of complex math and the ability to travel vast distances.
Yeah.
This is starting to sound a lot like what we imagine Atlantis to be.
Right.
Yeah?
And it makes you wonder if this civilization existed, what else might they have known?
Right.
What secrets could be hidden within structures like the Great Pyramid itself?
Okay, you're killing me with the suspense here.
Sorry.
What secrets
Yeah.
give you the good stuff?
Well, the book dives deep into the Great Pyramid, particularly the King's Chamber. It suggests that this chamber might not be a simple burial chamber, but rather
But rather what? Don't leave me hanging.
A repository of ancient knowledge or technology, perhaps even a chamber designed for specific rituals or practices.
Ooh, Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
But if it's a secret chamber, how do we even know about it?
Well, Flem-Ath points to the unusual features of the king's chamber.
Okay.
The way it was constructed is quite different from other parts of the pyramid.
Okay.
And then there are the acoustic properties.
Acoustic properties, what do you mean?
While certain frequencies resonate in very specific ways within the chamber, some people believe this points to a deeper purpose beyond just being a tomb.
Fascinating. So what kind of knowledge or technology are we talking about here? What can be hidden in this chamber?
That's the big mystery, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some speculate ancient texts, others believe it could be technology beyond our current understanding.
Right.
The book even explores some pretty out-there connections to things like Libyan desert glass.
Libyan desert glass. Fill me in. What's that all about?
It's this naturally occurring glass found in the Libyan desert.
Okay.
But here's the kicker. To form it, you need temperatures of around 6,000 degrees Celsius.
6,000 degrees. That's insane. How could something that hot even happen naturally?
Exactly.
Yeah.
There are theories about meteor impacts, of course.
Right.
But some researchers suggest it could be evidence of ancient civilizations possessing technology capable of generating extreme heat.
Hold on. Are we talking ancient death rays or something?
Maybe not death rays,
Okay.
but the book brings up the work of Yul Brown,
Okay.
a modern-day scientist who developed something called Brown's gas.
Brown's gas. What's so special about that?
This gas burns at, you guessed it, 6,000 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
It can even melt tungsten, which has one of the highest melting points of any element.
Okay, now my mind is really blown.
Yeah.
So we're saying that ancient civilizations might have had technology similar to this Brown's gas and used it to create things like Libyan desert glass.
It's a bold claim.
Yeah.
But the book lays out the argument in a compelling way. And it really makes you think about what else these ancient civilizations might have been capable of.
This is so much to unpack. We've barely scratched the surface of the Atlantis Blueprint, and I'm already hooked.
Yeah,
We'll have to continue this adventure in the next part of our deep dive.
absolutely.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the Atlantis Blueprint. Last time we were talking about some pretty mind-blowing stuff. Crustal displacement, ancient maps showing Antarctica,
Yeah.
and even the possibility that ancient civilizations had technology capable of melting tungsten.
And that was just the tip of the iceberg.
Really?
The Atlantis Blueprint goes even further,
Okay.
exploring evidence that suggests ancient civilizations were not only technologically advanced, but also interconnected
Okay.
and capable of traveling vast distances.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Yeah.
Where do we start with this ancient voyager theory?
Well, the book takes us on a bit of a world tour, connecting seemingly unrelated archaeological sites and cultural practices. One of the first stops is Costa Rica, home to those enigmatic stone spheres.
Oh, yeah. Those giant, perfectly round balls of rock. I've always been fascinated by those. How were they even made? And what was their purpose?
That's a mystery that archaeologists are still debating. But the Atlantis Blueprint highlights the work of researcher Ivar Zapp, who connected these spheres to ancient ley lines.
Ley lines?
Yeah.
Those supposed energy lines that crisscross the Earth.
Right.
What do they have to do with giant stone balls?
Zapp theorized that these spheres were strategically placed along ley lines and might have been used for navigation in ancient times.
Really?
Imagine using these massive stone markers to chart a course across the ocean.
That's a pretty wild idea. So are we talking about a global network of ancient seafarers who understood ley lines and used giant stone spheres as navigational aids?
It's certainly a thought-provoking concept.
Yeah, it sounds like something out of a science fiction novel.
It does.
Yeah.
And the book doesn't stop there. It connects this idea of ancient voyagers to another fascinating piece of the puzzle, the Mayan calendar.
The Mayan calendar. I remember all the hype surrounding 2012 and the supposed end of the world.
Right, the doomsday predictions that thankfully didn't pan out.
Yeah, right.
But putting those aside, the Mayan calendar is undeniably a remarkable feat of astronomical knowledge.
Yeah.
Its accuracy and complexity suggest a deep understanding of celestial cycles and timekeeping.
So how does the Mayan calendar tie into this ancient voyager theory?
Well, researcher David Kelly found some fascinating correlations between the Mayan calendar and the Chinese and Hebrew zodiacs.
Really?
These correlations, he argues, suggest the possibility of trans-Pacific voyages in antiquity.
Wait, are we talking about ancient Chinese or Hebrew explorers sailing to the Americas? That's a pretty bold claim.
It is.
Yeah.
But Kelly points to some compelling evidence.
Okay, like what?
For example, he highlights similarities in the animal symbols and astrological concepts used in these different zodiac systems.
Okay, I'm starting to see how all these pieces might fit together.
Right.
We have evidence suggesting ancient civilizations possessed advanced technology.
Right.
A possible global network of seafarers using ley lines and stone spheres to navigate, and now hints of cultural exchange across vast oceans.
Yeah.
It's making me rethink everything I thought I knew about history.
That's the power of exploring alternative perspectives, isn't it?
Yeah.
It challenges us to question assumptions and consider the possibility that our understanding of the past might be incomplete.
So where does Atlantis fit into all of this? We've been talking about ancient civilizations and advanced technology,
Right.
but haven't really connected it back to the idea of a lost city.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
The Atlantis Blueprint doesn't just focus on uncovering evidence of a past civilization.
Right.
It also explores the possibility that the civilization was lost
Okay.
due to cataclysmic events.
Cataclysmic events. Are we talking about natural disasters or something more dramatic?
Well, remember Hapgood's theory of Earth Crust Displacement.
Yeah.
That's one potential cataclysm that could have wiped out entire civilizations.
Right.
Imagine the devastation a sudden shift of the Earth's crust could cause.
It's hard to even fathom the scale of destruction that would cause entire continents, submerged civilizations erased in an instant. It's a terrifying thought.
It is.
Yeah.
And the Atlantis Blueprint also delves into the work of Hugh Fox,
Okay.
a researcher who studied ancient art
Uh-huh.
and found evidence suggesting a global world culture that predates known civilizations.
A world culture. That's fascinating. What kind of evidence did he find?
Fox discovered recurring motifs and symbols in ancient art from various cultures around the world. These similarities, he argued, pointed to a shared cultural heritage that predates our current understanding of history.
So we're talking about a potential advanced civilization that existed long before ancient Egypt or Mesopotamia.
Right.
A civilization that was potentially wiped out by a sudden catastrophic event.
Exactly.
This is starting to sound a lot like the story of Atlantis.
And that's the core argument of the Atlantis Blueprint. It weaves together all these seemingly disparate threads of evidence, ancient maps, archaeological discoveries, cultural connections, to paint a picture of a lost civilization that might be more than just a myth.
Wow. I'm speechless. The Atlantis Blueprint has taken us on quite a journey.
It has.
From shifting continents to ancient voyagers, hidden blueprints, and lost civilizations.
Yeah.
It's a lot to process. But one question keeps popping up in my mind.
Okay.
If this advanced world culture did exist, what happened to it? What caused its downfall?
That's a question that has haunted historians and researchers for centuries.
Yeah.
And while the Atlantis Blueprint doesn't provide a definitive answer,
Right.
it does offer some intriguing possibilities.
Well, we're definitely going to need a little more time to unpack all of this. Let's take a break and come back for the final part of our deep dive into the Atlantis Blueprint, where we'll explore those possibilities and discuss the book's ultimate message. Welcome back to our deep dives into the Atlantis Blueprint. We've been on quite a journey, haven't we?
We have.
From shifting continents to ancient seafarers, a hidden blueprint connecting sacred sites.
Right.
And even the possibility of a lost world culture wiped out by a cataclysmic event.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take in. It's almost like looking at the past through a brand new lens.
It is.
But if we entertain even some of these ideas, where does that leave us? What are the implications of all this?
Well, for one, I think it suggests that our understanding of human history might be far more incomplete than we realize. We could be missing huge chunks of knowledge and understanding simply because we haven't been looking in the right places or asking the right questions.
It's a humbling thought, isn't it?
Yeah.
To think that we might be overlooking crucial pieces of the puzzle.
It is.
Because of our own preconceived notions about the past.
Absolutely. And that brings us to one of the key takeaways from the Atlantis Blueprint.
Okay.
The importance of questioning conventional wisdom.
Right.
The book encourages us to be skeptical of established narratives. And to consider alternative explanations for the mysteries of our past.
Don't just accept what you're told.
Exactly.
Do your own research, dig deeper, and be open to the possibility that there's more to the story than meets the eye.
Exactly. Another key point the book drives home is the possibility that ancient civilizations were far more interconnected and advanced than we often give them credit for. The evidence presented, while certainly debatable,
Yeah, sure.
points to a level of sophistication and global awareness that challenges our modern perspective.
Yeah, it's like we tend to view our current level of technology and interconnectedness
Huh.
as the pinnacle of human achievement,
Right.
when it's entirely possible that civilizations in the past might have achieved similar or even greater heights.
Precisely. And finally, the Atlantis Blueprint serves as a reminder that history is not static.
Right.
It's a dynamic and ever-evolving narrative shaped by both gradual change and sudden catastrophic events.
The Earth itself is a testament to that, isn't it?
It is.
Continents drift, ice caps expand and recede, and even the Earth's crust can shift dramatically over time. It makes you realize how vulnerable civilizations can be to the forces of nature.
Exactly. And those cataclysmic events might be the key to understanding why we have gaps in our historical knowledge. Perhaps the answers to some of humanity's greatest mysteries are hidden in plain sight, encoded in ancient structures and myths, just waiting to be deciphered.
It's a tantalizing thought. It makes you want to grab a shovel and start digging, or maybe book a flight to some remote archaeological site and start exploring.
Indeed. And while the Atlantis Blueprint may not provide all the answers, it certainly offers a roadmap of sorts, and encouraging us to look beyond the surface and to consider the possibility that our past is far richer and more complex than we might imagine.
I think that's a perfect note to end on. We've barely scratched the surface of this fascinating book, and I hope our deep dive has inspired you to explore these ideas further. Who knows what mysteries you might uncover as you delve deeper into the world of the Atlantis Blueprint. Keep questioning, keep exploring, and never stop searching for answers.